All right. Hello and welcome. We are back once again for a power session here with Roofle. We have what I would typically call an extra special episode, but I tend to say that quite often. So we're going to say we have something very, very out of the ordinary, which is probably why you see so many of these faces. Some might be familiar to you. This episode is special to me specifically because I'm so excited about it because it is our first opportunity to bring you the rest of the customer success team here at Roofle, besides just Courtney and I, who are always on these shows and on these trainings. So we wanted to take a special opportunity here because we are highlighting our most recent update, Roofle 3.4, which has a lot of stuff included in it. And we're going to go over all of that stuff today. But the reason that this update is so special to me and to the rest of this team is because this is our last big kind of housekeeping update before the dev team works on some other stuff that's kind of specific. So we took all of your feedback over the last year. We provided all of that to the dev team. They figured out what of it they could actually accomplish in a timely fashion. So this is the one that we have been waiting for the longest this year. This has been a bunch of little tweaks and a bunch of little requests that we've made and a bunch of quality of life improvements that we've been asking for, stuff that you've told us over the last 6 months or so that we have been passing on. So this is our opportunity to share that back to you. So when we tell you, hey, we love your feedback because we actually use it, this is the proof in the pudding per se. So I'm very excited to bring that to you. Before we dive into the actual updates themselves, we are going to go around and we're going to do some introductions. Some of us should probably be familiar to you. You've probably spoken to at least one of us at some point in your tenure here with Roofle, but we are going to go around. So I'm just going to start on the top of my screen. Jackson Petty, can you please introduce yourself to the people here?
Yep. My name's Jackson. I do onboardings, CLP onboardings, and technical support things. And something new, I'm starting to do Roofle Assist, which we will get into later.
Yeah, that's a super exciting one. That's going to be a big update. Courtney, introduce yourself to the people who might not have seen you before.
I'm Courtney Goddage, and I am a part of the customer success team here at Roofle. And if you don't notice, I probably have the most northern accent out of everybody, which is because I'm located in the frozen tundra of Minnesota.
Courtney was an extra in Fargo, actually, as a small child. Mickey, or as everybody else calls him, Michael Case. Introduce yourself, sir.
That's me. I'm Michael. I'm located in Maryland. We have all of the seasons. I'm a client success manager here at Roofle with a background in retention and loyalty, and I'm going to be pointing out a few things that will help you guys hopefully retain your leads and have them loyal.
All right. What would they not learn about you on a client call?
I got a full ride to play soccer at Loyola, Baltimore, Maryland. There you go.
There you go. There you go. And as we all know, a very, very soccer forward city and a soccer forward country. We love it. Adrian Goodman, who are you?
Hello, my name's Adrian, and I am a lead onboarding specialist here. I onboard you for your RoofQuote PRO, your contractor loan pro, any sort of technical assistance that you need. Like Jackson, feel free to reach out. Also helping to spearhead our Roofle Assist. As for things you might not know about me, I'm a Pisces, and I enjoy long walks on the beach and pina coladas.
Classic. That is perfect. Yeah, if you've ever managed to stump anybody else on our team with a technical question, you probably have noticed that it is always Adrian that we reach out to when we really can't figure it out, and then Adrian shows up and solves the problem. And then I'm Justice. I take care of our webinars, and I take care of our finance program, Contractor Loan Pro, and any other random questions that anyone can pitch our way, unless I need to turn to Adrian for help. All right. So with that out of the way, we are going to dive into this update, Roofle 3.4. So this is a big one. Courtney is going to be managing the screen share. So she's going to be kind of walking us through what this operation is. But before we dive into that, Jackson is going to explain what Roofle Assist is that's been mentioned a handful of times so far. Jackson, what is Roofle Assist?
So Roofle Assist is a new offering we have where whether you're a new customer or an existing one, if you, for whatever reason, don't have a web developer, don't have people you can go to and pay them to put things on your website. What we will do for you, if you can give us the keys to your website, so the login, we will go in and we will install the widget for you. Now, we aren't building websites. All we're going in and doing is throwing the widget on your website wherever you'd like it to be. Both versions, the static one and the one that's on the side of the screen, either or both if you want both. And from that point on, we will charge you a small fee that will be much less than whatever your current web developer is charging you. Yeah, that's essentially the entire operation. So it can be useful for new people who maybe don't have those resources. Maybe they want to save some money, or existing companies if they want to start up a new website or something like that. So that is the gist of Roofle Assist.
Awesome. Thank you, Jackson. I like the usability of it in a case of like, maybe you have a website that you're already very happy with and you don't really need any updates or changes to it, but you need this tool on, and maybe you don't have someone who regularly manages the site. We can very easily jump in and do that for you, and you don't have to go out and go in and find somebody who can go do that for you. We have that under control for you. Like Jackson said, people who will handle website development work typically charge a premium for that, and we will take care of it as quickly as we can and as cost effectively as we can. All right, moving on. Adrian, I believe you have a couple of things to tell us. Courtney's going to pull the screen up so that we can kind of follow along and make sure that we're all on the same page. But what are we working with?
So with the new update here, just kind of some back-end things. We have, if you do have a GoDaddy website, wanted to let you know we have improved some of our back-end coding to better work with the architecture for the GoDaddy builder. So we actually can not only put just previously we could only install the embedded version of the widget. We can now also install the slide out version of the widget. And we have improved it so that you can now use your deep links on both versions of the widget on GoDaddy sites. So GoDaddy is now good to go for all of our amazing features here using RoofQuote Pro. One of the other really cool things that I'm super excited about is we have updated our system to allow for a public API. The public API is available there in the developer settings. And if we click on it there, you can see here, we can now take your, if you have like, say, a form fill on your website, we can now, take that information and if you have that set up to output anywhere, you can now take that output and plug it here into our API. You may need to talk to your web developer a little bit about, how to set this up. But if you do have any sort of other questions, feel free to reach out to us here. But yeah, we can have it set so that, anytime you are bringing in, name, email, phone number, address, and we can set it up so that the data will, come into the system here. It'll plug in, and then it can be set to automatically extract that data and push it over into RoofQuote Pro here. And when you do, it will actually flow into a new tab here on your dashboard for your imported contacts. And
so that, I was going to say, and this is where I tend to kind of take over and kind of express and showcase this awesome new tab that is available in the admin portals and the production portals. So this is where, let's say, if you do have that public API working, you're going to find that these contacts will be populating within the imported contacts tab that you'll see right next to the address only. Another cool thing with these imported contacts is you guys do have the ability to import contacts via a file. We do have an awesome template for you guys to use, which is super simple. And I'm going to show you how simple that is. You just simply download it. And what it's going to do is you can populate your potential like other leads into this form. And once you have that saved, you'll just simply be able to upload it right into your Roofle portal. And then what's beautiful with that is then, let me just show you. We have an example here of an imported source here. And what you're going to notice is on the very far right side, there is a little box with an arrow. And that is where you can simply take that information. And then what it'll do is it'll open it right into RepQuotes. So you're going to see this live right now. I'm taking that lead and I'm able to simply go straight to putting it and importing it into a lead and getting to pricing. So what's nice with this is that this is a contact that came in from another source. If your sales reps want to have this information ready prior to going into an appointment, it's going to give you all this information. But what's nice is you're not having to re-enter it. It's going to be coming right from that lead source here. And then trying to think if there was anything additional to this piece here. But the other thing that I do want to show you is not only do you have the ability to create a lead from those imported contacts, you can also do that with your address only. So I do want to showcase that you now have the ability to open up that lead. With this one specifically, because there is no contact information, you will potentially kind of have the ability to create a lead from here. So let's say if I was able to get in contact with this person or want to show up at their door, I can simply take an address only lead now and progress right to pricing in case if I want to use this in a situation where I'm door knocking or I'm bringing the quote with me before actually talking to the homeowner. So really cool capabilities here that we wanted to showcase. And I think, Michael, I think you're up to kind of discuss the other cool features here.
Yeah, I got a few of them in mind. So first is the search bar for all leads. That has been updated so you can search anywhere. Now you have a search bar that allows you to quickly locate specific leads by typing in keywords. It's going to make it easier to manage and track potential clients without scrolling through long lists. It's going to be easy. If you can only remember a last name or a partial name, you should be able to find them. You can just start typing it in and click enter. It should go through whether it's in an RQP lead, another contact, an address only lead. These are, I believe they used to be only singular. So now it's a search bar. It's a work all. Yeah. Once you're in that lead, you can, this is one of my favorites. You can add simple notes to contact details. So yeah, go ahead and show there right on the tab. Now you can add notes directly in each contact's details, helping to keep track of this information or updates without needing to use separate documents. You can document pre or post appointment info that you get from the lead. You can even insert a hyperlink. So that's our dev team went all out. It's supposed to be simple notes, but it's not. You can really add a bunch of stuff in here. You can make it a lot of interesting info in there. So it's fantastic. I'll let her, there you go. That show you right. You just add a little hyperlink right there and hit save.
Oh, well, probably because I used maybe not a right.
You did it the other way around. So maybe don't reach out to Courtney for your technical assistance.
Not hyperlinks, at least.
The big one here, I think, too, is email customizations. Now you can customize your emails with branding, messages, and layouts, enhancing communication and engagement with your leads. You can add your product image. You can, where I was going to get you in there. There it is, right there. You can add your product image. You can hide or remove info from the product card if you think it's not necessary. So these little tabs right here, these little notches, you can just take them out. So it's just going to literally remove it. You can add attachments. And if you didn't know before, you can send all of your product cards through the email that your leads get. So you can really highlight your good, better, best even more now. All of this is customizable in this little edit email. So, yeah.
And a really awesome preview screen right to the right. So you can see exactly what they're going to be getting, which just makes it really nice and very visual appearance. I know this was something that a lot of our customers were really looking for.
Yeah, we have been working hard to try to bring the necessary updates or the kind of the most requested items to the fore, especially on this update, and try to pack in a lot of the things that people had been specifically requesting. Notice you can also CC a secondary email address when you were sending that out. So maybe if somebody wants to have it sent to their backup, or maybe have it sent to an adjuster, perhaps. If you're doing maybe an insurance quote or anything along those lines. So there are a couple of different unique ways that you can make use of this, and just trying to put more capability into your hands, and again, suiting the needs of everybody involved. Another kind of sneaky, not sneaky in a bad way, but sneaky in a pretty cool ways, if you have attachments that you need to include, as in if you need to comply with a good faith estimate requirement of providing some credentials or providing any further information along with a quote, or likewise any kind of insurance information that you might need to provide, you now have a way to attach that in here. So there's a handful of other kind of utilities that come into place with this, that kind of make this a little bit more powerful than it seems on the surface. All right. I have two that I've been holding on to that I'm extremely excited about, mostly because they affect financing, and that's what I take care of. So if you have used our financing, we have a really cool feature that shows it. If you leave on that page for just a second, well, it's okay. So if you use our financing, you can see that the financing is offered to your customers across the bottom. So your customers will get a promotion of what you offer finance-wise, as far as the longest period of zero APR, the lowest APR they could get approved for, as well as the lowest payments that they could get approved for. So we are making sure to always show all of that information. So if you use the finance, we're going to do our best to present it to your customers and kind of take that off of your plate. Another feature here, if we go into financing itself, and if we are dealing with,
Sorry, Justice.
You're totally fine. You are totally fine. So if we jump into our finance, what we typically find is you have a collection of various products that have various dealer fees associated with them. So Court, if you'll click on that rate sheet, and we can kind of just see a demo rate sheet sitting there. So if you notice, we have a 0 dealer fee, a 2.25% dealer fee, and an 8% dealer fee all sitting there. So if you send that offer to a customer, do you build in a full 8%? Do you build in the 2.25? Do you build in an average? Do you talk about it later? It is up to you, but that becomes a very complicated situation depending on the state you're in and depending on kind of the requirements. So what we have done is given you the ability to put in, just like your waste factor percentage, you can actually choose a custom dealer fee percentage of your own to build into all of your products. You're no longer limited to 0 or the average or building it in manually. We can actually build that in for you. So if you jump over to products, Courtney, and we can kind of showcase this in real time. And if we go to customize a product, now we have financing options, base package. Directly below that, factor in our merchant fee. So if we turn that on, it defaults to the average, but now you have a drop-down window. So you can actually put 0, you can put average, you can put the max, or you can just put in a custom fee, just like it was a rate sheet or just like it was a waste factor. So you can actually just select to fully access all of that. So most states have a requirement that you cannot explicitly charge someone more for financing. So you have to build the finance cost into your total cost of doing business. And then if they use cash, you can offer a cash discount, but you can't offer a price and then upcharge when they use financing. So this gives you the ability to kind of decide what exactly you're going to build in, what exactly your cash discount would be if they don't choose the financing, and make sure that you're protected on the front end. You don't get kind of burned on the back end by a dealer fee you weren't expecting. You're always protected, and it puts that control into your hands. So since we launched this last week, I've already helped a handful of contractors get that dialed into exactly what they need. It is a really big deal for just a convenience, quality of life situation. The other financing piece that I'm very excited about is the ability to build it into your integrations. So if you use our webhooks feature to send your leads directly into your CRM of choice, you now have a way to include the finance information as well. So you can actually include over when they get approved, what product they choose. All of that information can also be included in your integrations, and it can be sent over to your CRM, which is another big step, trying to simplify the process for your sales team and for everybody in the back end administration of your office, just to make sure that everything comes through cleanly from start to finish. That's kind of always our goal here at Roofle, as it specifically relates to finance. That's where I get kind of jazzed about it, as you can tell, because that's what I deal with on a daily basis. But that is everything that we have on our primary list. There were some other things about kind of making our lives easier and making our ability to help you even stronger to this update. But those are the quality of life updates that we had heard so much over the last 6 months, that we had reported to the development team, that we heavily requested, and then that we have brought in. So I wanted to take just a minute or two here before we walk away and say, hey, if you have any questions, if you have anything else that has not already been covered in the chat, feel free to throw it in and we can kind of do a live Q&A session here. Or if there's anything you'd like to see, anything at all that we can cover for you while you've got all of us here, more than happy to help with that. And then Mitch, I can absolutely help you set that up. So that leads us right to this next point. win.roofle.com that Courtney has so nicely pulled up on her screen. That is your success center. That is kind of our customer success home here at Roofle. So as you notice, you've got pro support on demand. You have access to our knowledge base. You have access to our webinar catalog. And you have our creative library, which already has a video in it of how to use the instant quote tool, but it has more coming that our marketing team is working on. But next level customer support is just below that. So you can see all of the fine folks of the customer success department. Choose the contact that you need to speak to, click their face, and you will immediately see their calendar. So Chris or Mitch, you can jump straight to win.roofle.com, click on my headshot, and you will immediately be able to book some time. And Jason, yes, this is absolutely being recorded. The recording will be sent over to your email.
Courtney, are you flying?
I guess I'm flying.
And Justice, I think you might have missed Aldrich. With the whole team is here. Aldrich is helping everybody in the chat.
Yes, Aldrich wanted to be the silent partner of this operation. So Aldrich has been here in the chat, as everybody has probably noticed, with all their questions being answered so quickly. Aldrich is another onboarding specialist and also extremely tech savvy, just like Jackson, just like Adrian, and has been an immense help to the team ever since he joined. I'm sure a lot of you have probably encountered him at some point. And if you've noticed any change in our efficiency or our ability to answer your question lightning fast or fix a problem lightning fast, chances are Aldrich had something to do with it. All right, guys, did I miss anything? Is there anything else? Is there anything else that you guys are excited about?
No, I think we've got a bunch of cool release and surprises before the end of the year. So be on the lookout for some more announcements. Our team is constantly working on making this better. And again, do not hesitate to reach out to any of us. You'll know that if I don't know the answer, I will absolutely lean on my team to get you connected with somebody that could help you or get you the correct answer. So if you get a meeting with me and I'm not able to help you, you do know that I'm still going to help you get that solution, whether it be through somebody else as well.
Yeah, most of you have probably been on a meeting with somebody on this team, and I'm sure you've noticed we are very communicative with everyone else on the team. Justin D from Roof It Forward said, has there been any look into making the aerial measurements more accurate? So Justin, my first response to that would be, yes, we are always working to make those measurements more accurate. But I would also say it's heavily dependent on the data that's available to us and the area of the country that you're in. So if you are finding consistent discrepancies, please report those specifically to us. We would be more than happy to look into those. There have been multiple times that someone has come to us and said, hey, this address is not giving back the right numbers, or maybe isn't showing up. Our dev team will look into it, sometimes notice, oh yeah, actually that entire neighborhood has bad data, and they will solve the problem. So every now and then, I mean, I think it was, what was it, back in like February, you guys, that Brad came to us and said that he had made so many updates and fixes that we had one point, it was over 1 million new addresses that were now appearing on the map that had been blank before, or that had partial data that had now been kind of fully rectified. So we are constantly, they're not always going to be huge jumps like 1 million addresses, but we are actively, constantly working towards making sure that our data is as clean as possible and we have as much of it as possible.
And that's a great reminder too. If you guys are seeing inaccuracies or issues with the measurements or anything like that, if we don't know about it, we won't know that there's an issue. So please send any one of us some of the addresses that you may be experiencing, or set some time up so we can discuss this and absolutely get this looked into for you as well.
And keep bringing us what you need. This meeting was literally about what you wanted, and we delivered. So keep bringing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Never stop with giving us information, giving us feedback, positive feedback or negative feedback. It's all useful because we do literally use every scrap of it that you are willing to give us. All right. So with that, I think that we will call it here. I haven't seen any other questions come through for a minute. So everybody, we do have a couple more episodes coming through this fall. We have more in the works, so be on the lookout. More of these update emails will come through with the links to schedule for the rest of them. We are actively working on putting a couple more on the calendar. We have, like Courtney said, a couple more updates coming before the end of the year that we are also extremely excited about. And who knows, we might make these kind of roundtable sessions a little bit more frequent because we're able to answer so many of your questions and kind of cover so much ground all at the same time. Anyway, anybody else have anything to add before we walk away? All right, that'll do it. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. We will see you next time. In the meantime, go check out these new features, see if you have any questions about it, see if you can find any issues, and we'd be more than happy to take a look at them and get them fixed. Take care.
Have a good one.